Hello everyone, today I will show you how to create extendable UI components with React, TypeScript and Tailwind CSS. In this video we are going to create a single component that you can customize, like just passing props, and it will adapt to those changes. For instance, in the appearance screen you can see that I have currently 3 buttons, but it is just one component, and I have provided you can say the variants. These are 3 different variants. For example, this is the secondary one, primary, and this is the outline one. So for that we will need to create a React application, and before actually starting coding we'll also have to install these 3 packages, which are CLSX, Class Variance Authority, and Tailwind. This is just basically will help us to create customizable components. I have already installed these packages, so I don't have to install them again. Okay, so let's get started. First of all, we will create a utils folder, and inside that we will create a helper function that will help us to basically merge the Tailwind classes. For that we will import the CLSX and type of class value from the CLSX. After that we will import the TW merge from Tailwind merge and create a function CN. You can name it whatever you want and pass it the inputs. After that we will just return the Tailwind merge, and since this CLSX helps us to merge the classes, it will just take the inputs as parameters. Okay, after that in the components folder we will import this class variance authority, and from there we will import the variant props and CVA, and then the helper function that we have created from the utils. Okay, now for creating these 3 variants we will have to create a button variants and use this CVA here, and in here we will just provide the basic styling for it, and in the next we will pass an object here. Okay, so here it is, like you can see, this is the basic styling which will all of these buttons will have in common. For example, when I click on it, it just shows that it has been clicked, and there is rounded corners and those things. These goes in here, and after that we will, since we are creating variants, we will create an object with the variants name, and there will be 3 variants for this for now. So we will pass another object with the name variant. For the first one we have the default one, which takes the default styling, secondary one, and the outline one. These basically are just the 3 styles. Okay, so after that, since we need the sizes as well, so we will provide these 3 you can say the sizes here. After that we will just provide the default variants for it. It will help the button to by default incorporate these 2 variants. For example, the variants is going to have the default one and the size, which is this one. Okay, after that we will create the type. For that I have created an interface with button props name, and I have extended it with the button HTML attributes and passed in this HTML button element. And there is one thing we will have to do, is that since we have created these variants and sizes, we want the TypeScript to actually suggest this as well. So for that we also will extend this, which the variant props comes from the class variance authority, and we will take the type of this button variants. Okay, so after that we will have to create a button component which will take class name, size, and variant. Since these 3 things are going to be the props we want our button to have, and after that we will just put other properties. Okay, then since this button is going to be a functional component, we have imported this from the React and passed in the button props that we have created in here. After that we will just create a self-closing button element and pass in the props, the class names, the util function that I've created. Okay, then we will have to pass the button variants, which is this one, and it takes an object with the properties that we want to have it incorporated. So this is going to be the basic structure of this element, and after that we will just come to our app.tsx and import those. Okay, since you can see that I have already implemented these three buttons here, and I have passed for the first one as the secondary variant, and will pass the size as well. If you as you can see, we are already getting the type suggestions for this one, and I will make it large. And when I save this, you will see that these have been changed. And if I just remove these two, you can see this, and if I make this size smaller, you can see this has become smaller. You can just play around with this size. I have just not focused on that as for now. And if I make another button which is going to have some, let's say, outline, and make its size as the large one, and change the value here as hello, you can see that it has been beautifully implemented. I will create a repo for this project and upload it on my GitHub. You can find the link for it in the description. Thank you for watching.